When Grandpa Lou brings home a mini camper, caravan, trailer, depending on where you live, the kids go and decide to explore it further. They end up believing that the vehicle is actually a spaceship to take them to the moon, or Chucky's toy rocket has apparently landed. They get trapped inside and shut inside the garage, which they believe to be the moon. While the beavs explore the moon, their parents realize they're missing and search all over for them. When they finally look in the garage, the babies believe aliens are looking for them and hide. Adults quickly find them, though Chucky panics and bites Stu's finger. Later, in the playpen, Chucky worries that Stu is angry at him because he's never heard him say those words before. Tommy assures Chucky it's no big deal, but the kids safe and sound, Stu and Dee Dee argue with Lou over how dirty his caravan or mini camper or whatever is. At Angelica's house, as Drew brings a letter to Angelica. It's Angelica's birthday, and in her room, she's looking at a picture of the Taj Mahal, thinking about using it as a summer home. She then sees Drew and tells her that she's been making last-minute suggestions for her birthday. Drew tells her that a birthday card came for her in the mail. Angelica excitedly runs up to the letter and opens it. As she looks through the card, she's disappointed not finding any money inside and tosses it on the floor. Drew picks up the card and reads it to her, revealing it to have a poem from her grandmother inside. He tears up as he reads the poem. Angelica, missing the point, tells Drew that her grandmother must have forgotten to put the money in the card. They can always call her so she can deliver it to them. Drew then explains to Angelica he's been thinking about how grown up she's become lately. Angelica tells him that she is, and soon she'll be an adult, and she can do whatever she wants. Drew tells his daughter that now she's a year older, he and Charlotte will be able to treat her more like an adult and trust her with more responsibilities. Angelica asks Drew if responsibility means she'll be able to stay up late and eat ice cream whenever she wants. But Drew tells her that responsibility means taking care of yourself and doing such things as clearing your own plate from the dinner table, picking up your own toys, and paying a mortgage, for example. Angelica thinks that stuff doesn't sound fun, but Drew tells her that's part of growing up is doing things you have to do, not just doing whatever you want. It isn't all fun and games, and it also involves a lot of hard work. Angelica is shocked when she hears about all this hard work she'll have to do in the future. Speaking of hard work, downstairs, Charlotte is on the phone with Jonathan as a Reptar pinata is being hoisted up. Charlotte wants only the best for her daughter's birthday and has spared no expense. As she talks to Jonathan, a caterer brings in a cake the size of a wedding cake, with a figure of Angelica at the top. Luke comes in after him carrying a present, and Charlotte tells him that Angelica's upstairs. She then tells Jonathan he'll be in a lot of trouble if a karaoke machine she ordered doesn't work. Angelica sadly brushes Cynthia's hair as Lou brings her present and wishes her a happy birthday. Angelica sadly thanks him, opens the present, which is revealed to be a box tea set. She sighs unhappily, and Lou, noticing unhappy his granddaughter looks, asks her what's wrong. Angelica asks him what it's like to be old. Lou thinks for a minute, then tells her that when you get older, first your back aches, and it's tough to get out of bed in the morning. Your hearing isn't as good, you get false teeth, and your vision blurs. Eventually, you end up eating tapioca and getting sponge baths. Even with those things, old age does have good points. Angelica asks if that will happen to her, and he tells her that sooner or later happens to everyone. He then says she should take his advice and enjoy the best years of her life while she can. He then recalls the best year of his life was at Woodstock, save for pesky kids making a racket. As Lou leaves, Angelica asks him where he's going. To avoid getting into too much detail, he tells her it's just another part of getting old. Back downstairs, Charlotte is still on the phone with Jonathan, who tells her the Russian circus she reserved has been canceled. Some caretakers pass by her, pushing and pulling live goats, and she tells him to take all animals back to the tent. She then talks to Jonathan again, demanding that he tell the Russian circus performers that if they ever want to work in his town again, he'll make sure not to cancel a Charlotte C. Pickles deal. Jonathan then informs her that the performers were deported. Charlotte is outraged, as the performers shouldn't have been deported until after their performance at his daughter's birthday. Back in her room, Angelica sadly tells Cynthia that soon her life as an innocent kid will be over. Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Melvin walk into her room, wish Angelica a happy birthday, and reveal they have bought her a mud pie, made with literal mud, in Spike's food bowl. Angelica sighs unhappily, and Chucky asks her if she likes it. Angelica tells him, Tommy, and the twins that she's too old for mud pies now, as she now has responsibilities. Phil asks her about the Tsar, and Angelica tells him that she's not allowed to have fun anymore for the rest of her life. Tommy tells her that today is her birthday, and Phil says that on your birthday, everyone has to be nice to her and give her presents. Lil then adds that she also gets to blow out candles and make special birthday wish. And Chuckie concludes by saying that she gets to eat cake and ice cream until she throws up. Angelica tells Chuckie that all she wants for her birthday is to never get another year older as long as she lives. Lil asks Angelica what she means, and Phil tells her that getting old is fun. Angelica then tells him that getting old is nothing but misery and woe. Tommy is surprised that Angelica feels very strongly about this and comments that it's too bad she can't stay like him and his friends. Upon hearing this, Angelica suddenly has an idea, and Chuckie has a bad feeling about it. Resolving to avoid responsibilities, Angelica decides to be a baby again. She gathers a purple t-shirt and a green bonnet from the dolls in her bedroom. Then she gathers supplies from the baby's diaper bag, including a pacifier and a diaper. When the babies return, they're shocked to find Angelica dressed as a baby, specifically wearing the green bonnet, purple t-shirt, and a diaper from the diaper bag. Angelica tells them that now she's a baby again. Nobody can give her any responsibilities. As she pretends to be a baby, Chuckie and Tommy begin to doubt she can really pull it off. Tommy tells Chuckie that things will be different now that Angelica's a baby again. Lil then tells him if Angelica's a baby, she'll be just like them. And Phil said if Angelica's one of them, she won't boss them around anymore. Lil adds that Angelica won't steal their toys anymore. And Chuckie says she won't make them wear frilly panties. Tommy, Phil, and Lil are shocked when they hear this, and Chuckie tells them he doesn't want to talk about that particular experience. Back downstairs, Charlotte orders another caterer to take the sheep to the tent out back, and another her to add 4 streamers so there'll be lots of color. Howard and Chaz arrive, both of them dressed like clowns. They explain to Charlotte that they have come to perform for Angelica's party, that when they were in school, they made all their money out of birthday clown appearances. Charlotte tells them that she's already booked enough entertainment, but Chaz insists they give her a brief demo before she says no. Chaz then plays some clown music and introduces himself as the amazing Flubbo, and Howard and his sidekick Looney Boy. Chaz then plays a balloon animal, but Charlotte is unimpressed. Next trick involves Chaz balancing a plate of pies on his head while riding a unicycle, while Howard juggles the bowling pins. Chaz bumps into Howard, causing the pies and bowling pins to fall on top of them. Howard then berates Chaz for messing up, but Charlotte laughs hysterically at their performance and tells them they got the job and the kids will love their act. Back in Angelica's bedroom, as Angelica sucks on her pacifier, Tommy asks his cousin if she's really going through with acting like a baby. Angelica responds by asking him if he has a problem with it. He tells her he doesn't, but being a baby means you can't do a lot of things on your own. Phil, Lil, and Chuckie give by playing big kid games, crossing the street, eating solid food as their respective examples. Angelica tells him that being a baby will be easy for her, but Chuckie says he doesn't think she can do it. Angelica then tells him to give her any baby thing to do, and she'll do it as good as any of them. Tommy hands her a bottle and asks her if she can get some milk. Angelica states it will be easy and opens her door and calls for Drew. Tommy then tells her that babies are not supposed to talk to adults. Following his advice, Angelica screams. Drew rushes in and asks his daughter if she's okay and is shocked to find her dressed like a baby. He asks her what she's doing dressed in baby clothes, and Angelica responds that she's fine. She tries to tell her daddy she wants some milk, but then looks at Tommy, Chuckie, Phil, and Lil, who shake their heads no in unison. Angelica then goes down on her hands and knees and gurgles and coos like a baby to tell Drew she wants some milk. Moo. Drew tells her that if she wants something, she could talk like a big girl, not a baby, but Angelica continues cooing like a baby. Drew then tells Angelica he'll make a deal with her. He'll get her some milk if she changes out of her baby clothes, but Angelica continues cooing. Drew, realizing it's no use arguing with his daughter, leaves. The babies walk up to Angelica, who tells him, "Now that's service." Drew walks down the stairs and tells his wife that Angelica is crawling around her room dressed like a baby and won't even speak to him. Charlotte replies that she's very busy as she needs to check on the chocolate swan sculpture, and the Chinese acrobats have arrived. The Chinese acrobats perform for her. Then she says, "I'll be right there," to them in Chinese. Drew then asks her what he should do about Angelica, as whenever she wants something, she just cries. Charlotte tells him that Angelica is just going through a phase, and since it's her birthday, she can do whatever she wants, including crying. Drew says that he's going to see if he can at least get Angelica to put on her new party dress, as he knows she likes dressing up. Back in her bedroom, Angelica cries like a baby as Drew tries to get her to put her new party dress on, telling her it's a pretty dress. and he's sure it costs a lot of money. He hands her the dress, and she stops crying, but only briefly, as she now throws the dress on the floor and stomps on it, screaming. Drew sighs in dismay. Later that day, Angelica's friends, including Dean and Susie, come over, and Charlotte greets them. She then tells Jonathan they haven't received his present to Angelica yet. Angelica is now in the playpen with Tommy, Chuckie, Phil, and Lo, who are all very impressed of how well she was able to pull off acting like a baby. Drew then invites Angelica's friends inside to Angelica. Dean asks her what she's doing in the playpen, and Susie tells her that she looks like a baby. Angelica responds by gurgling and cooing like a baby. Charlotte then calls Angelica's friends over for the piñata. As Susie and the rest of Angelica's friends run over to the piñata, Drew asks Angelica if she's sure she doesn't want to join them. Dean asks her if she wants to get all the chocolate for herself like she did at his birthday party. Angelica, knowing she loves chocolate but hates responsibility, reluctantly declines by groaning. Drew then tells her if she doesn't want to, that's okay. Angelica watches Drew lower the piñata and her friends cheer. She then growls at not being able to join them. She watches Susie hit the piñata but not get any candy out of it, and she tells the baby she's going out of the playpen to get the piñata. Will stops Angelica by telling her to wait, and Phil tells her that she can't do it. Angelica says that she loves playing piñata and she always gets all the chocolate. Tommy tells his cousin that if she wants to be a baby, she has to do baby things. Chuckie adds that babies aren't allowed to play piñata. Phil then asks Angelica if she doesn't want to have responsibilities, and she reluctantly decides to stay with them. As another of Angelica's friends hit the piñata, getting some candy out, Angelica complains that she's going to miss all the chocolates. Chuckie informs her that she can't have any little candies either, as they're too dangerous for babies. Angelica asks him why, and Tommy explains they put them in their nose. Angelica has now had enough and tells the babies they ruined everything for her, as she can't do anything fun. Right now, she could be out there with her friends, hitting the piñata, but instead, she's being reduced to sitting in a playpen, wearing a diaper, and drinking from a bottle. Chuckie tells her that it may not look like much to her, but it's the world of him, Tommy, Phil, and Lil, and it's all they know. Angelica tells the baby that she's not going to act like a baby anymore, and she jumps out of the playpen to join her friends in hitting the piñata. She snatches the stick with one hit, knocks all the candy out of the piñata. Charlotte sees this and congratulates her on a job well done. As Angelica and her friends collect the candy, Tommy, Chuckie, Phil, and Lil watch from inside the playpen. Chuckie then tells Tommy and the twins that getting older doesn't sound as bad as Angelica let on earlier. Phil likes the idea of getting bigger and stronger. Tommy likes the idea of eating chocolates, and Lil likes the idea of hitting things with sticks. Chuckie then says he can't wait to get old. Charlotte then calls Angelica and her friends over to watch a performance from Flubbo and Looney Boy. Angelica, Susie, and Belinda all sit down as Chaz and Howard perform for them. Chaz juggles 3 cakes as Howard hits his foot with a hammer, causing him to scream and throws cakes in the air, causing 2 of them to land on their heads. Angelica and her friends laugh until the 3rd cake lands on Angelica's head. Angelica's friends continue laughing, and Angelica throws some of her cake at Belinda and Susie. Angelica and her friends all laugh